All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Zunaira Ali. I'm part of the Making Sense International team, and I'm very happy to have you all join us today. So good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're joining from. I will kick us off with the introduction of the program, and then I will hand it over to our speaker, who will talk more about the topic. Launched in 2018 under the USAID-funded project Youth Power Learning, YouthLead.org is designed for young changemakers who are making a positive impact in their community. They're doing that through service, activism, advocacy, education, and entrepreneurship. The YouthLead Ambassador Program is an 18-month professional development and leadership opportunity that's for young changemakers with a proven track record in mobilizing other young people to have a positive impact in their community. One of our YouthLead ambassador is with us today, and she will be going through the role of next generation thinking in the acceleration of SDGs actions. So I will hand it over to Takwa, and Takwa will talk more about this topic.
Thank you, Zunaira, for this introduction. Can you hear me well?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. I'm so excited to join you in this webinar related to the Sustainable Development Goals. And hello, can you please put your mic off, because there is a background voice. Okay, thank you. So again, I'm so excited to join you in this webinar where we'll go into the youth engagement and power related to the acceleration actions to the Sustainable Development Goals, or the United Nations SDGs. As we are approaching the deadline of the 2030 Agenda, or the United Nations 2030 Agenda, we need more efforts, and we need the creativity and innovative thinking of the youth, or this next generation. So next, please. I'm just wanted to introduce myself a little bit. I'm so honored here to stand as a USAID YouthLead Ambassador from Tunisia, representing the North African region and also working on the MENA region. So I'm so excited to share some information on insights on how we can shape our future, or how we can have a better future with youth power. So here's the agenda. We will go first by introducing what are the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, what are the SDGs. We all hear about SDGs and there's some indicators, the United Nations SDGs and so on, but what is SDGs exactly? And then we will delve into some examples or some indicators of the youth stats or statistics from United Nations reports related to the youth and the SDGs. And then we will go and see why it's important to include youth, or why it's important to help youth have decision-making, or help youth bring their ideas to the table and participate and contribute to the acceleration of the SDGs or the 2030 Agenda. Then we will try to understand what is next generation thinking, and what does it mean by next gen thinking. We'll see also the innovative solutions based on the next generation innovation and thinking, and how this next gen helped to develop innovative solutions that serve the Sustainable Development Goals. And then we'll see the innovation and creativity, and how it's important to highlight the creativity of this category of people or youth in terms of creating solutions and coming up by new ideas and thinking outside of the box. Then we'll try to highlight some initiatives in Tunisia related to the SDGs and the actions that have been done in Tunisia. Then we'll talk about education and awareness, and then the challenges that youth all over the world are facing when it comes to implementing projects in the context of the SDGs, and the importance of mentorship and guidance, the importance also of digital tools and social media. We all know the power today of social media in terms of raising awareness on the about the SDGs and the 2030 agenda and so on. And we'll see opportunities, resources, and then a call to action. So this is basically what we will go through. Next, please. All right, so what are the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals? We all know this term of SDGs, but when it was like born or founded. So the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals were born in Rio de Janeiro in 2012 in the United Nations Conference on Sustainable Development. And it was like a roadmap to some critical issues that we are facing in the world, like poverty, education, climate change, and so on. So in that conference, they agreed to make a roadmap for 17 points or 17 issues that are critical and important to have a better future for this generation and for the next generations coming in the future. So every sustainable development goals has indicators, has sub goals like sub points, and like more details. When you check for example, the website of the United Nations, you will find, for example, the first sustainable development goals, no poverty. You will find like some sub goals for this SDG and for all over the SDGs. All of them. So, but before, next please. But before having the SDGs, they were called like MDGs. MDGs means Millennium Development Goals. So those goals were founded in 2000 when they were trying to cover some critical challenges that we were facing. And basically they were talking about political, economic, and health, like education and so on. But the MDGs, why they converted the MDGs into SDGs in 2012, because they were lacking some frameworks. They were lacking monitoring and evaluation, tracking things that was missing some points to track the progress of the MDGs and to track the progress that we are doing to achieve those Millennium Development Goals. So this is why they converted it into Sustainable Development Goals, and they developed 17 goals in order to cover all aspects that we are facing in the world, and in order to track them in more details, having monitoring, evaluation, and a lot of frameworks and details in order to like implement projects and in order to track the progress for them. And in 2012, they set the goal for 2013. This is why we call it Agenda 2013. This is why today we're in 2023 and we are hitting the deadline of the 2030 agenda. This is why we need more actions and more efforts in order to reach the deadline, or in order to reach the targeted goals related to the SDGs. But why? But what makes the SDGs unique here? The SDGs are interconnected goals and robust targets and indicators. For example, for education, for poverty, for climate change, and so on. They are poverty, for example, it's interconnected to education. If a community, if a community has suffering from poverty and so on, of course they cannot get into school and they cannot get education. Of course, they will not get health services, and they cannot pay for health services, or they cannot do several things. So this is why we say that the Sustainable Development Goals, all of them, the 17 goals, are interconnected, and they are universal. They serve for everyone on the earth. They serve for all times. They are universal, which means we can work on the SDGs in Tunisia, and also we can work on the SDGs and the same SDGs in I don't know, in the Caribbean countries, or in different countries, they are universal. They are ecological, social, and economic. We are working on water, we are working on climate actions, on the life preservation and different things, economically, ecologically, and socially, that they are really interconnected, that break down silos and so on. So here, next please. We will delve into some statistics of the Sustainable Development Goals related to the youth. For example, I choose the Sustainable Development Goals, goal number 8, decent work and economic growth. And this is based on the United Nations report in 2018 report, which highlights some indicators related to youth and their situation. There is 3 times, like youth today, 3 times more likely to be unemployed than adults in 2017. So this is the last statistic. Adults are unemployed, like which means 4.4% or 4.3% of adults in 2017 are unemployed. And at the same age and with the same numbers, youth represent 13% of those unemployed people. So it's a very high percentage of this category. So youth today are suffering from unemployment, which is really interesting here to highlight and to say that youth need support and need to be that energy that they have and so on. They need to get work and they need to be employed, and they need like resources and opportunities to be employed. And this is why like change makers and youth leaders and so on have a critical role here. Also, there is 1 in 10 children are engaged in child labor worldwide, which is a very high number. So this represents 160 million of total children. So 1 in 10 children are engaged in child labor worldwide, which is really a big question here. If we are talking about youth, they are it's a category between the age of 15 and 25 years old. So at this age, youth or children are meant to be in schools, are meant to be like having their work. So here it's a very critical point that we need to highlight when it comes to youth challenges and the statistics that the United Nations offer for the SDGs. Next, please. All right, so here I choose another SDG, another goal, which is quality education. We know the importance of education for youth and for children, but today we have 5.5 million more girls than boys of primary school age were out of school in 2018, which is a really big number. Like, just imagine 5.5 million girls than boys of primary school age were out of school in 2018. We are in the era of technology. We're in the era of like opportunities, and the world is interconnected and so on. But still, 5.5 million girls are out of school in 2018, which is really like a huge number for me, and it's really something that organizations and institutions and like civil society and so on need to work to increase this number. So there is more than half of children and adolescents are not achieving minimum proficiency in reading and mathematics, which is 58% of this category. So 58% of children, they cannot read and they cannot do mathematic equations and so on. Even reading is something like not saying mandatory, but it's essential today to have like children. They have the right to read and they have the right to be educated and get services, education, and so on. There is also 200 258 million children and youth still out of school in 2018, nearly 1/5 of the global population in that age group. So you can see the huge numbers, which is with millions, like children and youth are out in school in 2018. They cannot read, they don't have minimum proficiency in mathematics and so on. And this is why I see that it's really compulsory for youth and change makers and those people who have like the power to participate in decision making and so on, to work on these issues that face youth are all over the world. Next, please. So here I will share like the importance of youth involvement in this, the challenges that we were talking about related to the SDGs. Today, we have 1.2 billion young people in the world, which is like a very huge number. Just imagine 1 billion youth, young people. Young people or youth means people between the age of 15 to 24 years old. And those categories have vibrant energy, have like creativity, have the power to change the world. And this is why it's really interesting today to count on youth and to give them space and room to participate in decision making and participate in the implementation of different projects related to the SDGs, local spaces and local communities, everyone from his or her own like space and community. They can do a lot, they can do like impact in the world. If we, for example, I'm working in Tunisia, I'm working in my local community, and I have the opportunity, for example, to participate in different spaces and different debates and projects and so on. Of course, I will have like the impact, like, or even it's a small impact in my local community, but it's good because if me and the other one and the other youth all over the world, if like the majority of this category of people feel accountable towards the SDGs and feel the commitment to participate in the implementation of the SDGs and the acceleration of the projects that they are related to education, to poverty. If everyone, if we put hand in hand and we work together, we can do a lot of things and we can have a better future, because the Sustainable Development Goals, it's not about the present only, it's about the future. It's about me, it's about my children in the future, it's about the next generation. So I really feel accountable when it comes to the SDGs, because I'm seeing to the long term, and I'm seeing that I'm not living on my own on this earth. There is other generations that they are coming, and they need like clean water, they need like a space, like a green spaces, they need fruits, they need like a clean air and so on. So from my space here, I feel really accountable towards the Sustainable Development Goals, and this is to raise awareness. And for the listeners here, we're not just like living and then going. We need to make an impact, even if it's like in this small community, even if raising awareness in a small family that we have, raising awareness about the importance of climate change. Don't do that. We can do this. We can save water. We can think about the next generation that they are coming. It can start from the very small circle that you have. Next, please. So here we can say why it's important to include like youth in the Sustainable Development Goals, and why they can contribute positively to the 2030 agenda. Youth have like the power and the creativity to and the energy to work on long-term impacts. As I was saying, it's not the present, it's the long-term impact that we are looking for. Also, they are agents of change. They are vibrant, they are full of energy and full of ideas. And I see that the Millennium generation, or the Z generation today, is really, really unique, and they have like maybe because of internet and because of the opportunities that they have today, they know a lot about the world, and they have a lot of resources, a lot of opportunities to make the change. It's just a matter of commitment and accountability and going into action. They can build capacities, and they have the power, because there's a lot of like resources and opportunities today to build skills, to network, to learn from others, to really have the ability maybe to build capacities and so on. They are interconnected global, they can work on interconnected global challenges because of the social media, because of the technological tools, because of internet. So those global challenges, which are interconnected, like poverty, education, and so on, they can work on that, and they can network, and they can work on very interconnected challenges today in different countries all over the world. Sustainability for future generations. So sustainability here, we can say sustainable development goals. So sustainability is key elements here when it comes to those challenges that we are facing today and we are working on. The solutions that we are working on, they should serve the long term. They should be sustainable. This is why this generations need to work on sustainable solutions for future generations. They are creative, and they have the power to develop innovative solutions. You can see the creativity today in this generation. You can go online and see the vibrant ideas that youth are bringing to the table. You can see even on social media, you are exposed to different inspirations and different ideas that you can use to serve the sustainable development goals. The mind of those this category of people, youth, I mean, they are fresh minds. They have the ability to come up with new ideas that the previous generation didn't think about. And we will talk later about different solutions that the next generation thing can bring or come up with. Local knowledge and context. So the youth or this generation, it's important to make them involved because of the local knowledge and the context they are in. So also they are able to advocate and raise awareness about the SDGs. And this is what we need for the 2030 agenda, raising awareness and advocate for it to reach the highest number of communities and people, to reach the highest number of communities where we can make impact. And people today need to be aware about the problems that the world is facing. If we're taking an example related to climate change, for example, they need to know the danger that we are in today. If we talk about the heat and the challenges that our Earth is facing, our oceans are facing, they need to be aware of this, because accountability and commitment will automatically influence a lot of things, because everything is interconnected. When they are aware about the importance and the danger of the climate change today, they will not throw, for example, some plastics in the ocean or in the street. So they will be aware about their role in this generation and their role towards the next generation coming. Ensuring inclusivity. We need youth today to ensure inclusiveness. We need youth today to reach the highest number of communities and make everyone inclusive in this. Not a specific community and another one is exclusive, but everyone is should be inclusive in the sustainable development goals and the role here of youth. And also, this generation is very large. As I mentioned, it's like a high number. It's like billions of youth today. It represents 25% of the global population on Earth. So we need to take this as an advantage, as a positive point to use it to increase the actions towards the Sustainable Development Goals. Next, please. All right. So what's the next generation thinking? We were talking about what those category or those people or young people has as characteristics, as like positive things that we need to take into consideration and so on. But what is the next generation thinking? The next generation thinking is a forward-looking, innovative, and adaptive approach to address complex challenges and driving positive change. So the next generation thinking is related to youth, related to those creative minds, related to those vibrant and accountable people who are able to come up with new ideas, who come up with innovative solutions and resolve complex issues that drive positive change today in our world. So it goes beyond conventional traditional methods of problem solving and decision making, and there is a lot of interconnected methods to solve those complex issues. All right, so the next generation thinkers are individuals who embrace creativity inclusively and long-term perspective to develop solutions that can have a sustainable and transformative impact on society. And this is what we need, sustainable and transformative impact on society for the long term. Next, please. So here we can see the characteristics of the next generation thinking. They break from traditional and comfort zones. Next generation thinkers think outside of the box. They are technology driven. They use technology. They are sustainability focused. They are collaborative and innovative. They interconnect and collaborate with different people, and they are future oriented. So we need to take those points into consideration when talking about the next generation thinking. Next, please. So I will go into some solutions for the next generation thinking and the innovative solution for the Sustainable Development Goals, but I will not go into so many details. For example, we can say the renewable energy technology. It's here because of the next generation thinking. It's here because of the innovative minds of youth and this generation that come up with this solution for this energy technologies and so on, such as solar panels, wind turbines, and hydroelectric power system, and so on. Next, please. The other solution is circular economy. We all know this term, which is a concept of that embodies next generation thinking by promoting the reuse and recycling of products and materials. We all know this. Next, please. There is also the social entrepreneurship thing. We all know social entrepreneurs around us. We all have some friends who are working on focusing on social and environmental like dimensions in their projects and so on. So social entrepreneurship came up because of the next generation thinking, and it's like a result for using systems thinking and a next generation thinking approach. Next, please. And we'll go through a little bit of the aspects of creativity of the youth that have. They are problem solving, so they are good in problem solving and coming up with solutions, resource efficiency, social inclusion, technological advancements, entrepreneurship and economic growth, behavioral change and awareness, partnership and collaboration, data monitoring, education capacity building, green and circular economy, and empowering local solutions. So this innovation and creativity is because of the systems thinking approach and the next generation thinking. I will try to go fast because we don't have like too much time. Next. So here we have a poll. I want to ask you, like people who are present here today with me, which aspects of innovation and creativity do you find most promising for driving positive change toward the SDGs? Is it technological innovation, social enterprise and business solutions? Is it creative arts and communication, which is important? Is it collaborative problem solving, or if you see other options, just let us know. Okay. Let's see if everyone voted. Can we see the results, Ben? Oh, interesting. So 53% of you said that social enterprise and business solutions are most important. Then the second thing is collaborative problem solving. Yeah, I totally understand. Yeah, this makes sense. Okay, so let's move to the next slide, please. All right, so here we'll showcase some initiatives in Tunisia, in my country, related to the SDGs and how we are working on raising awareness on the SDGs. The SDGs camp in Tunisia, it's a series of events and a series of social innovation camps aiming to educate and engage people, and especially young people, for the achievement of the SDGs. We basically talk about planet, people, partnership, peace, and prosperity. And this camp, it's like solutions. It's like basically focusing on solutions and how we can like develop creative solutions and collect the ideas from youth participating in these camps and these events through and helping them through coaching, monitoring, and pre-incubation. So the SSG camp offers 3 pre-incubation tracks for entrepreneurs, for lobbying, advocacy, and social impact. And this is why you voted for entrepreneurship and social impact and so on, because it has a very large impact on the SDGs. The second initiative in Tunisia is, next please, is know your goal. It's related to the SDGs, Tunisia under the SDGs. It's also based on communication and debates and workshops, and how youth can come up with ideas related to the SDGs and how we can accelerate the implementation of the 2030 agenda. So it helps youth and participants to deepen their understanding on the SDGs and share their valuable experiences and amplify their voices through resounding call to actions. We invite like civil society organizations, youth leaders, successful entrepreneurs, and so on, and come up with a space to debate those ideas and learn from their experiences and so on. So please, next. All right. So here we can see the importance of education and awareness. Education has a very interesting impact when it comes to the SDGs, because it encourages critical thinking, it empowers youth engagement. When you educate youth, you support or you promote sustainable entrepreneurship, you build your resilience and adaptation, you promote sustainable lifestyle. So education and raising awareness is really critical when it comes to fostering the implementation of the SDGs. Next, please. I'm trying to go fast to keep room at the end for questions and answers. So this is like has like a lot of details, but I'm trying to say that youth can participate and can contribute positively to every sustainable development goals when it comes to poverty, zero hunger, when it comes to clean water and sanitation, climate action, life below water. Youth are able to have positive impact and contribution to all of the aspects from their own space, from their own community, and with their own capacities. Next, please. So there's a lot of challenges that we are facing as youth. As I mentioned, there is a high number of youth unemployment. So this is one of the most important challenges that we are facing as youth. There is culture and social norms that sometimes we struggle with to implement some projects. For example, in some communities, there is like a lack of awareness related to the SDGs. There is so many communities that resist change. So as we are trying to make impact and making change to some communities, the way they are doing things, the way they are behaved when it comes to nature, there is a resistance to change that we need to take into consideration, and we need to work on it. There is a lack of resources. Sometimes we need more resources, more more funds or grants, or toolkit, or how to do things like informative resources and so on. So these are the most important challenges that we are facing. Also, there is like a bureaucratic hurdles. So we all know these challenges when it comes to implementing our projects in our country, especially in the different countries. For example, in Tunisia, we are facing a lot of challenges. For example, resistance to change or the lack of awareness is really highlighted here when it comes to changing the mind of people or the mindset when it comes to some SDGs. Next, please. Mentorship and guidance. As we are facing a lot of challenges in Africa, in North Africa, in so many countries, we need mentorship, we need guidance as youth. We need some people who are with high expertise to help us learn more, to help us grow more, because we need empowering. Because we need to amplify youth voices, nurturing future leaders, navigating complex challenges, and this is why we need mentors with us, fostering sustainable solutions, learning from experience of others and the projects and implementation of others, the lessons learned from the others. So here, mentorship and guidance really matters, matter. Next, please. We'll take some examples of the successful mentorship programs, like the UN Youth Ambassadors Program. It's a platform with the United Nations system that focuses on engaging young individuals as advocates and change makers for the SDGs. It's focusing more on skill development, advocacy, awareness, collaboration, partnerships, and global network. So a lot of people from all over the world learned from this program and had the opportunity to learn from United Nations experts and networked from different organizations and agencies from the United Nations and learn from them in order to implement successfully their projects in their countries. Next, please. The next successful mentorship program is Young Mediterranean Voice, which is a program in Tunisia here. It brings together young leaders from across the MENA region, including Tunisia, my country, to enhance their skills in areas such as dialogue, communication, and project management. And it's related to the achievement of the SDGs through dialogue and collaboration. The next program, please. Tunis Tamil, which means Tunis is the capital of Tunisia. It's called Tunis. Tamil, it's an Arabic word. I mean, Tamil means works. Tunisia or Tunis Works. So it's an online youth employment platform that helps our youth and employed people to have job opportunities and resources to help them get jobs. It's like an online platform that combines virtual and physical interaction and uses data to match youth with hiring employers. So it makes the matching between the youth and the hiring managers. And it's aligned with the SDG 8, decent work and economic growth. So at this point, we are focusing on the high number of the unemployment youth that we saw previously in the statistics related to the SDGs and youth. Next, please. here we can see the importance of digital tools, social media. We all know the power of social media. Today on TikTok, we can say a lot of advocates for climate change. They are using this big platform with its big audience to raise awareness. There is a lot of advocates for climate change doing like videos going viral when talking about the challenges that we are facing for the ocean, for nature, and for the climate overall. So this Millennium, the TikTok is based on the main category or the age range of TikTok is youth, is millenniums. So targeting those social media platforms is really critical here to raise awareness, to call them for action, to make them accountable and invite them to participate in these actions. Because there is a rapid information sharing, there is a real-time interaction from real people, there is a global reach, youth-led advocacy, as I mentioned, global connectivity, rapid information sharing, also innovative campaigns, and so on. So social media and digital tools is really important at this point. Next, please. All right, so the opportunities and resources that we as youth need, or the young people need, we talked about the challenges and the lack of resources, but here we need more resources and opportunities such as grants for initiatives, such as scholarships for education. Today we can see a lot of platforms that they are promoting scholarships, fellowships, and so on, opportunities for youth who cannot afford further education, who cannot afford for professional program and so on. We can see fellowships, we need fellowships for impact, internships for experience to grow our, to develop our career and professional career and learn skills and so on. We need government support, corporate collaboration, online learning platforms, best practices tools and so on, infographics and so on. There is plenty of resources and opportunities that governments, institutions, organizations, the UN, everyone can provide to support this category of people, or the 25% of people that represent 25% of the global population. Next, please. So there is a poll here. I want to ask you a question. Which type of youth opportunity or resource are you most interested in exploring further to contribute to the Sustainable Development Goals? If you see if grants and scholarships are most important or interesting for to serve the SDGs, if you see mentorship programs, internships and fellowships, educational toolkits and workshops, youth-led projects and initiatives, or network and community engagement, what do you think? Okay, let's see the result. All right, so 31% see that grants and scholarships are important, and the same number voted for mentorship programs. So grants, scholarships, mentorship, and guidance are the most important things here to serve the Sustainable Development Goals. And then come the youth-led projects and initiatives, which is really interesting. I totally agree on what you voted for. So we can move next to the next slide. So here I presented an example of a platform that offers opportunities and resources, which is the YouthPower Learning Project, which is I'm part of. The YouthPowerorg platform is a platform that provides educational resources, leadership and advocacy tools, youth-led projects and initiatives, events and webinars, mentorship and networking opportunities, as you saw that it's really interesting here, funding and grants also, as we need more funds and grants for the SDGs, advocacy campaigns and community engagement. So I really invite people and youth to join this platform, because there is plenty of resources that we can use and you can use as resources to help you on your project, to help you understand more about the SDGs, to help you apply for events and mentorship opportunities and so on. There is a lot of grants and funding opportunities, so you can join it because it's open to everyone and it's free. So I really invite you to join this platform. Next, please. So here it's a call to action. We, as the youth and as the young generation, we are all accountable towards the Sustainable Development Goals. The next generation thinking accelerates the SDGs actions with innovative and adaptive approaches, engaging youth as change makers, foster breakthrough solutions, collaboration, and sustainability for a better future. So from my as I'm standing here, I'm inviting all of you to feel or to take action from your space, from your small community, from your family, to raise awareness about the SDGs, to invite people to change their mindset related to our climate, to feel accountable about the next generation that they are coming, about the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, because we are the change as youth, and we can do positive impact, and we can make a lot of things, and we can make a lot of a contribution or a positive contribution toward the Sustainable Development Goals when it comes to the 2030 agenda, as we are approaching the deadline. So thank you, everyone, and I hope that these the content of this presentation is insightful for you, and I invite you for your questions, and if you have questions.
Thank you, Taqwa, for that wonderful presentation. We'll take questions now. If you have any questions, please come off mute, or you can put that in the chat, and we'll be happy to answer those.
Do you have any question?
Right. I think if we don't have any questions, Taqwa, could you please drop in your contact information, your LinkedIn in the chat, so people can connect with you after the session, and we can wrap up early. While Taqwa is doing that, thank you everyone for joining us today.
It doesn't work for me to type. I'm not sure why it doesn't work.
Type what?
I can type in the chat.
Okay, I can post that for you. No issues.
Okay, thank you.
All right, here is Taqwa's LinkedIn, and I see one question. How do we absolve our professional values in support of the achievement of SDG goals in our various sectors?
How do we absolve our professional values in support of the achievement of the SDGs goals in our various sectors? So there is like some, how to say it, some indicators and some monitoring evaluation information when it comes to implementing your project. For example, if you are in your sector, if you are working on social impacting, there is some how to say monitoring evaluation data that you can track and you can use and make it aligned with your project. At this point, you can evaluate your project, and you can see if you are doing great, and if you need to do more when it comes to your community, when it comes to the number of your community, the actions that you have, and so on. So this is why I mentioned it earlier, the MDGs like converted into SDGs, because they lack those monitoring and evaluation things. So these are key elements when it comes to your project in your own space and your own like sector. So try to find them like online, or like try to see the indicators and the not the metrics, but the tools that you have to align and project on your project to see the achievement of your project and so on. I don't know if I responded well to your project, to your question, Ozani. Okay, is there any other question?
All right, we do not have any more questions, so we can wrap up. Thank you so much, Takwa, for your presentation.
Thank you.
And thank you everyone for joining us today. If you want to stay connected with more events that are coming your way, please join us on YouthLead.org. The recording of this session with the presentation slides will also be available on the platform, so you can access that and share that with others later. Thank you so much for joining, and we will see you soon.